Alright, since you guys liked the first one so much, we're going to do some more photoshopping of awesome album art covers and using the AI built into the Photoshop beta to see what it can expand things to. So if you haven't seen the first episode, definitely check that out. There's some really cool shit that came out of that one, and let's do some more. Alright, so the first album art we have right here is from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, as of a comment on the first video who asked if we could get some Red Hot Chili Peppers in here, so I will oblige, and here we go, some Red Hot Chili Peppers. This is the getaway, and we're gonna commit this here. We're going to do something new that I didn't do last time. Last time I was trying to mask around the words, because words screw up AI generation for whatever reason. But this time, before I do that and make the big expansion, I'm gonna mask the logo itself, like the letters, and I'm just gonna see if this can clear it, and see if it can get rid of the words altogether. Then we can pick the whole thing and not have to worry about missing aspects of the artwork because the words are in the way. So hopefully this solves our issue and gets us something cool. Look at that. Perfect. Alright, it got rid of them. Now we can make our selection here. I don't want to get the black bars that are on this image I downloaded, so we got like this, and hit generative fill and generate and see what we get. Dang, look at that. It filled in the bear. There's obviously a line there, but that's pretty damn good, I gotta say. Let's check out number 2. That's the second variation, and the third variation. I think they're both, I mean, all three of them I think are really good, but I think actually 3 is the best one. So let's expand this one more time and see what we can get on a bigger, grander scale of this whole scene here, and see if we can get some new, interesting perspective on the scene of this whole piece of artwork. Cool, look at that, it expanded, it's got this like empty street thing. Let's check out variation 2. That's pretty cool too. We got a little bit of a tree thing going on in there. And then number 3 is very similar to the first one, but I think number 1 I like the most. It's a cool scene, it's a very dystopian type of thing, but there you go, Red Hot Chili Peppers, The Getaway album expanded. Next up, we've got one of my favorite progressive rock, progressive metal bands, Opeth, and their obviously amazing album, Blackwater Park. And I think I'm going to have a little more of an issue getting the words out of this one, but we're still going to give it a shot. We're gonna mask around their logo and everything, and try to get it the hell out of here. So let's generative fill and generate. Please tell me you can get rid of this. Come on. Oh, would you look at that? It actually did a good job. It got rid of it. That works for me. So let's select the artwork here. Like so. We're going to generative fill. Oops. Invert our selection. Generative fill. And generate. Whoa. Okay. It's a little different. I hate when it does that with the lines, but this is the first variation. Variation 2 is a little bit better. Variation 3 is still a little weird, but maybe it's like, I think this maybe works. This is kind of like looking through a weird window. Like you're looking through a window and seeing this on the outside. But, I don't know, I just don't like that it adds those lines like that. I want to go with 2 because it has the least amount of lines and the most cohesive look. And we're going to expand this again. Let's make this a huge expansion and see just what this thing can create with this kind of dark imagery, with all those dark souls in the background trying to come after you or whatever, and let's see how much more demented it can make it. Okay, so not the greatest, not the worst. It's got a lot of blur and smoke, but that's okay. Second variation, also a bit kind of blurry and smoky. Third, I think the third works the best. There's a little more like environment going on here, and I don't know, I think it works. I just don't like the lines that it sometimes adds. Like, it can't seem to get rid of those lines at times. And it's a little frustrating with it, but hey, it's AI, it's doing all the work for me. I can't really complain. So, this is the expanded version of Blackwater Park. Is it the greatest one? No, but hey, what can you expect? Next up, we've got another amazing album, Dio's The Last in Line. And I figured this kind of imagery could be grounds and a good seed for something really, really cool with the AI tool. And seeing since a lot of the images that I download here aren't the most high quality versions of the artwork, I think that helps the AI a bit to make things fit better. Kind of like when you have really bad special effects in editing video and you throw on some film grain on the top, it helps to mask some of the bad effects, if that makes sense. And I'm liking how this thing can get rid of the names on these albums, so that's awesome. I'm sure a lot of companies with watermarks on images and stuff are afraid of that because people can just now get rid of watermarks. That's a conversation for another time. Whoa, okay. Whoa. First one's pretty cool. Second one, that line, but it's cool. It's got this church thing going on. Third one also, what's with the lines, man? It just does not work. So I think I want to go with the second one, and what I want to do is I want to regenerate this top portion here and try to get it to like fit better, if that makes sense. Let's try to get this thing to fit a little bit better and maybe get rid of that line. Maybe I'm doing it wrong here. Maybe there's something I can do to just get rid of that line altogether. Last in line. No, okay. There we go. Okay, so I guess the key is you just try to mask it out. That makes a lot of sense. So I think I like the second variation there. So let's expand this some more. I'm gonna try to get a huge scene here. Let's expand this way out. Like way out. Might take a little bit longer to generate, but I want to see what this thing can do. Scratch that. It seems that Photoshop Beta did not like that. I had that much empty canvas, so we're gonna try that again. We're just gonna generously generate something here. We're not gonna make it too crazy on the system because it seemed like it was gonna freak out if I tried to go that big. I guess we gotta go a little at a time. Or not. Or it's okay. Seems problem solved for now. I was running out of disk space on my main hard drive, which I do gotta clean up a little bit. I'm in the process of doing that, but seems that was causing an issue with Photoshop, which is odd to me. Oh, what? I'm at a loss for words. That is really cool. Second variation, what do we got? That sucks. Third variation. This thing's amazing. I think the first one I like the most. That is really cool. I like that a lot. That puts a lot of perspective on like the album as a whole. That's really cool. Holy good. Wow. Okay. Last in line, as I predicted, did very, very well. Album expanded. Alright, next up we've got another one of my favorite speed metal bands, Iced Earth. Despite what has happened to some of the members in the last couple of years. Which is another topic, but hey, if you don't know who Iced Earth is, they're definitely a speed metal band that you need to check out. Very similar to like Blind Guardian, if you ever listen to Blind Guardian, which are also really awesome. And some of the people from Iced Earth and Blind Guardian did a side project called Demons and Wizards, if you never checked them out. So if you like speed metal, you like blistering, awesome songs, you gotta give Iced Earth, Blind Guardian, and Demons and Wizards a good look, because Demons and Wizards, as a side project, actually just put out a third album a year or two ago, and it's great. So now that we've got rid of the logos on this one, we're going to expand this just to see what we can get. Iced Earth is another one of those bands that kind of has like a mascot, and I think it works really well. A lot of bands, they have the mascots. I think it adds a cool layer to people to see what's coming next for the characters every album. So we're gonna pick here and we're gonna invert the mask, whichever the feel. And the cool thing with Iced Earth, the guy who does the artwork for them, I can't remember his name. He used to do a lot of the artwork for the Spawn comics and stuff like that, which is really cool. I'm blanking on his name, but it's really good artwork. And wow, okay, Variation 1 is pretty cool. Variation 2 is really cool. And Variation 3 is the best one. Look at that. It added some more buildings. That fits the most. It looks like we're in like a big pothole in the ground right now looking up at this monster attacking the city. So let's expand that another time and see if we can get even more perspective on this dystopian world, no pun intended. Okay, variation 1, very noisy and cloudy, so I'm not a huge fan. Or 2 or 3. I don't know what happened there. That did some weirdness there. So maybe we're like looking into another dimension into seeing this happen. That's the way I would interpret this, but yeah, no, that's actually, I mean, it worked the second time through. Third time maybe not so much, but hey, that's still a really, really cool image. Next up, we got another one of my favorite bands, Mastodon, and their album Leviathan, and we're going to try to get rid of the words down here at the bottom. If you've never listened to Mastodon, you need to give them a shot. They've got a lot of good music, a lot of good music, very heavy stuff, very, very cool melodies, and very different. They're definitely their own thing, and I've been a huge fan for a very long time. I actually saw them with Opeth and Ghost before Ghost got really huge, and it was a very, very good concert. Very small venue, and it was awesome. All right, now that we got the words out of the way, let's try to expand this and broaden the canvas here just a little bit and see what we can get out of this giant white whale and the ship in the ocean. Oh, look at that. I think it did a good job. Second, ooh, that's different. Ooh, variation 3 or variation 1? That's the question. I think variation 3 is the coolest. It fills out the most of the scene. Yep, that works the best. All right, let's expand this again. Woo, look at that. That's a scene and a half. Variation 2, variation 3. Okay, I think variation 1 works the best. Look at that. That is a very disparaging ocean scene of a ship with a giant sea creature that's probably gonna just destroy people. Now, I want to do something a little bit different here and test the limits of this AI. So I want to pick the Leviathan whale here, and I want to expand downward like this and see if it'll actually add some more body to the whale and show more of this monster that lives beneath the sea and in the deep, dark unknown. Well, it got rid of it entirely and added water. That's not at all what I was looking for, so maybe not doing that. Let's try that one more time and maybe give it a prompt. Maybe I'll add in Leviathan. I'll add a word in there. Leviathan whale, and see if that does something other than trying to just get rid of the whale altogether. Nope. Okay, I think we hit the limitation here. Having it just halfway seen is good enough. This has been a very expansive expansion. All right, lastly, we have another one of my favorite thrash metal bands in existence, Testament, who also put on amazing shows. And we're going to get rid of the words in here so that we can generate this without some weird gobbledygook being introduced into the image. Nice. Okay, so the generative fill of getting rid of words is really nice. That works very, very well. And we're going to pick this and we're going to expand this awesome, cool image here and see what else they can come up with. There it goes again with the weird lines. I'm not a huge fan of that. That's cool. That's not. So we're going to stick with variation 2 because it actually created somewhat of an environment. And I almost wonder if I can select these lines here and generative fill them and see if it'll get rid of them. Oh, okay. So I think we found a solution for the future. We can actually just generative fill the lines and it'll get rid of the lines. Okay, that's awesome and a good thing to know for the future. You can actually just generative fill out the lines that generative fill creates. I wish I would have known that with some of the other albums, but hey, I'm still learning. I'm still new to Photoshop in general, so that's something good to note for the future. So whenever I do more albums that have a really awesome variation, but it added some lines for some reason, I can just generative fill and get rid of them. Problem solved. Ooh, okay, variation 1. That's pretty cool. Let's check out number 2. That's different, maybe like a stage. And number 3, yeah, those suck. Number 1's the best one. And you know what? Just for the sake of this being the last art that I'm doing here, I'm going to generative fill out these lines just for you. All right, and there we have it. The final image of Titans of Creation here expanded out. We figured out how to get rid of the lines, which is going to be a useful tool for the future videos if there are any. If you want to see more of these albums expanded, to see the environment it creates. And you know what? I gotta say, this is probably one of the better ones of today. Dio's Last in Line and Testament's Titans of Creation have been the best two, I think, so far, out of both of these videos so far, and have created the coolest images. So, there we go. Alright, if there's more album artwork out there that you want to see expanded in this fashion, definitely put it down in the comments and I will try to get to them if I can and make more videos about this, because I find this extremely interesting and cool just to do and see what this stuff can make. And yeah, otherwise, subscribe.